So, good evening, guys. Welcome to our session in here for today. I hope I'm audible to all of you guys. Right? Can I get a small confirmation for this by any one of you? Whether I'm audible, whether my screen is visible, and whether everything from the internet point of view is going good or not. Right? So, let us quickly get started with our session over here for today. And what is the expectation that you can have from today's session? Expectation is that there is a small portion of Python coding that is left, right? That to pandas coding that is left. So I would be completing that today, and then we would be starting with case studies showing real world applications of generative AI, right? So let's get started, right? So documents, Blackbucks, generative AI, coding files. And I think we would be starting with a new file over here, which is session 4. Right? Good evening. Yes, Venkata. So the name of this file would be session 4, right? And yes, the same good old thing, importing important libraries. So as you know that NumPy and Pandas are the basic libraries which we have studied. So import NumPy as NP and then import pandas as PD. These are the two basic libraries that we would have to create, right? Now, after this is done, there is something which is called as creating the data, right? So basically, you have data1 is equal to name, right? And you can have any names over here. Let's have 4 names. So Pratik, after that we have Sai, then we have Neeraj, and then we have Vijay. After that, we have age, which is 27, 28, 29, 30. After that, we have address, which is whatever cities you want, Nagpur, Hyderabad, Bangalore, and last is today. After that, we have qualifications, which is ME, MBA, MSc, and last is MCA. Then we have data 2, right? And it is also having similar things over here. It's just that we would be changing the names. So let's have Rahul, Ayushi, Sharvari. These are my colleagues in my full-time role and full-time role actually. Then we have Dheeraj. Let's have the age as 23, 24, 25, 26. Cities you can have Delhi, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Chennai. And here, let's convert it into bachelor's, BE, BPA, BSc, and BCA. And then you have converting the data into a data frame. So df is equal to pd dot data frame df for data 1, comma. Index. What is the meaning of index, guys? We have discussed this in the previous session. What is the meaning of index? Index is basically the name that is being given to a particular row. And then print df, comma, df1. So this is the raw data that we are creating df and df1 with name, age, address, qualification as the columns. So try to implement this and then we will try to perform operations on this. Right? So yes, it is the index is the row name or row address. Absolutely correct. Right? So you guys quickly type this in your laptop. So NumPy, in the first block of code, we are importing NumPy and pandas. And in the second block, we are creating the data because whatever data we are kind of trying to create, that data is something which would be used for the later activities. Right? So now can you please provide Jupyter links, sir, to download Shiva? To download Jupyter Notebook, you need to download a software named Anaconda Navigator. The link for which is this. Okay. Accessing correct, yes. So guys, you write it quickly and let me know once it is done. So now after this is done, so now why are we converting this into data frame? Because we need to apply all the functions that are there in pandas. And that is why we need the data in data frame format. Very good question. Can you share the coding file again at the end of the session? I will share it. Okay. And now after this is done, we have concatenating the data. So res is equal to pd dot concat df comma df1, access is equal to 1, and join equal to inner. What is the meaning of join equal to inner, guys? Can you tell me, anyone? Join equal to inner means that only the common intersecting. Yes, today is the last class for Python libraries. Yes, Harika. So join equal to inner means that only the common intersecting here. Let's have 2367. Okay, let's have 2367, guys. Please change it to 2367. So join equal to inner means that only the common indexes, they would be concatenated. What is the meaning of access equal to 1? Means that columns of df and columns of df1, they would be concatenated, right? So access equal to 1 denotes column wise operation. Join equal to inner means that only the common intersecting indexes should be there. Shiva, the Jupyter notebooks for the earlier files would be shared by the course coordinators. You please get in touch with them once, right? So res equal to pd dot concat df comma df1, access equal to 1, join equal to inner, right? Now after that, let's do one more thing. So just copy the earlier block of code that is present, right, guys? Whatever is the earlier block of code that is present over here, copy it and change it to 4567 and execute it. This is the change. From 2367, we are changing it to 4567. Access we are using because we need to indicate or we need to tell the Python interpreter that whatever operation we are kind of trying to do or implement, it is a column-wise operation. Okay, for telling that it is a column-wise operation. Take a minute for this. So now after this is done, can I move ahead with the next block of code, guys? So let's use df.append using append function. Res is equal to df.append df1 print res. What will happen is that rows of df, for row wise we're using access equal to 0 and the default value of access is 0 itself, so we don't need to specify it, right? Now df.append df1, when you run this block of code, what is happening is that you basically get the rows of df1 below the rows of df, right? Now after this is done, so I have shown you pd.concat, I have shown you df.append. So append means that it will take the inherent structure from the data frame df and the rows of df1 would be appended below it, right? Now, after this is done, let's write this code again and let's have 2367. Okay, change the indexes to 2367 again. Now, what is going to happen over here is that there is an argument called as ignore underscore index. It is saying that there is no append for data frame. Can you share your screen, Hemant, once? Because it is only after you share the screen I would be able to see what's the issue. Hemant, you're there. Can you share your screen? Okay. So, okay, you're sending me the snapshot. Let's have a look at the snapshot. Res is equal to df dot append attribute data frame attribute has no attribute df. This is happening because of the version difference. So in the most updated version of pandas, df.append has been removed. There is no issue that you are having. I mean, your code is not having any issue. So no worries. But in the older version, like one or two older versions of Python, there was this df.append option. So just take this into consideration. Like remember what it does. That's it. Then pd.concat df comma df1 and ignore underscore index equal to root. And then you have print res. So what is basically happening over here is that these are the four rows that are kind of available over here. And below that, there are these rows. So you can see index was 0, 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 6, 7. So what is ignore underscore index doing? It is ignoring whatever were the earlier indexes and it is re-indexing the data. Right? It is ignoring the earlier indexes and it is re-indexing the data with which you are expected to move ahead with. Now, after this is done, let us move ahead and let us paste the data again with 4, 5, 6, 7. And let me know once it is done so that we can move ahead with the next part. Now, after this is done, let us have, after 4, 5, 6, 7, you wrote it. Let's have concatenating using keys. Frames is equal to df comma df1. Res is equal to pd dot concat frames comma keys is equal to x comma y. What is this keys x comma y? What is it denoting? Key x denotes that these many rows came from df, and key y denotes that these many rows came from df1. Right, Hemant, the error is coming because of the version issues of Python. The version of Python that is available in your laptop, I think the most updated one, in that they have removed df.append, and that is why this issue is coming. But no worries, in the older version, you will still be able to execute this code. So guys, have you understood what keys is used for? Keys is basically something which is used to denote that which row is coming from which data frame when a concatenation operation is being performed. Now, after this is done, yes, I will repeat it again, no problem. So what is happening over here is that if you observe, there are two data frames, df and df1. So these two keys x comma y, they represent that which row, like this row, even this, even this, even this. These many rows are coming from the first object, which is df. And these many rows are coming from the second object, which is df1. Right? Is it clear, guys? Now let's get started with the next part over here. So let's paste this, and now we will not do concatenation of a data frame with another data frame. We will do concatenation of a data frame with series, right? So now after this is done, we have creating a series. S1 is equal to pt dot series 1000 2000, 3000, 4000. And name is equal to salary. Okay. So we are creating one data frame and one series. What is the use of keys? So use of keys is to make sure that which data frame, which rows are coming from which data frame. Okay. So X over here indicates that these many rows are coming from the first data frame and these many rows are coming from second data. Okay. Now after this is done, so what I want you to understand after this is let's concatenate a data frame and a series, right? Concatenating a data frame and a series. Rest is equal to pt dot concat df comma s1 axis equal to 1. So you will get a separate column for salary, right? You will get a separate column for salary, right? So this is how the concatenation of a data frame and a series is expected to work out. Now, after this is done, can you explain the series code block again? Yes. So what is happening over here is that if you pay attention, this data one is basically a data frame that we are creating, which is clear to you, right? We have been doing that. Series is another data structure that Pandas library is having, and series is one dimensional in nature, right? Like data frame is two dimensional in nature, it's like a table. In a similar way, series is one dimensional in nature, right? So this is how a series is looking like. Okay. 1000, 2000, like that. And the name of the series is salary. So what we have done is that we have concatenated a data frame with a series over here, right? So I hope it is clear now, Hanuman. Now you have getting the data types. Okay, perfect. df dot d types. This code will help you to get the data types, right? This code is something which is there, which will help you to get the data types of the different part. Now, what is this 64 int 64? What is this 64? This 64 basically means that there are 64 bits that are available over there to allocate the data in each column. And now we are having something called as data type conversion. So res square bracket h is equal to res square bracket h dot as type int 8, and again res dot d types. So what is basically happening over here is that you can see the data type is now int 8. Earlier is what, int 64. Now it is int 8. So the meaning of this is that now only 8 bits would be used to store the data, right? 30 seconds, guys, on this. Can you please send the okay, sure, yeah. Now, after this is done, let us try to do the same thing with salary, right? So now let us try to do the same thing with salary. Let's have it as np dot int 16. Okay, so you can see two data type conversion codes in front of you. Now, after this is done, let us take a break of 5 minutes. Okay, and then we will resume at 18:20. Everybody, guys, 5 minutes break. Thank you.
Hello guys. So I'm here to explain about the weekly exams and how to use the TapTap website. Am I audible? Yeah, thank you. Is my screen visible? Yeah, okay. So TapTap student login. This is the thing that you'll type in Google. And after that, the first thing is login. Login TapTap Blackbucks.me. After that, as your students, you need to sign in using your mail ID, like how I'm doing it right now. After logging in through your mail ID, here we have lesson learn. In this lesson plan, you need to go to the chat GPT APSCHE IIT. This is the one, APSCHE IIT. This is ours. After going view lesson plan, click on the view lesson plan. Then here we'll have all the assessments that which contains MCQs, which is given after every session. And the assignment, weekly assignment is also posted. And the sessions, like from the first session, first class, ChatGPT session 1, session 2, the full videos. And here you'll have the sub videos. And this is the daily test that need to be written by all the students. And the PDF regarding that is shared in the group. Then the employability test and the summary that is also given. Then the ChatGPT session 2 PDF, session 2 summary, and the daily test. And the assignment is given weekly once. And the assessment of which contains MCQs is given after every session. So please do participate in that and write the exam and the assignments also. And I'll show you how to write the exam. So suppose the test 5, which means which contains the questions that are taught in session 5, that is on Wednesday. After you're clicking on that, it register, then click on OK, then take test. So here you'll have the questions related to that. There will be 20 MCQs and half an hour of time, and you need to complete it. Similarly for assignment also, and employability test also. I think it's clear. Any doubts? Okay, after the applying, you couldn't see the card. You have any queries? I'll be posting you a Google Form link, and you can ask your doubts and everything on that. I hope I'm clear.
So, guys, let us get started with the session. Right, the break is completed, and now let's get started with the session. So, what I want you guys to now understand is that let's try to do some filtering. Let us create the data, creating the data set. Okay, df is equal to pd dot data frame, and over here we are having name, which is Jane, then John, then Ashley, then Mike, then Emily, then Jack, and then Kathleen. CTG is A, A, C, B, B. Val, which is np dot random dot rand int, or let's np dot random dot random 7, and you round those values till 2 decimal places. And then you have val 2, which is np.random.randint. By the way, we have discussed this random and everything. So it's 1, comma 10, comma size is equal to 7. And then you have print df. So basically what is happening over here is that this is a data frame that we are creating, and we would be doing some operations on this data set, like typically filtering this data set. Take your time for this, guys, everybody. So guys, after this is done and after you have created this data frame, let us try to perform some operations over here. So we have filtering the data. Df square bracket well, it's greater than 0.5. So you can see that all the values greater than 0.5 would be returned. So this is a condition. Under rows which satisfy this condition, those would be returned from the data frame df. Right? So take your time for this and let me know if I can help you with anything, guys. So guys, have you understood how we will filter the data frame? Now, the point over, sir, how we convert the given data from string to integer using this as type. So whatever string column is there, dot as type int. If it is possible to convert that into numbers, then only it can be done. Okay. Now, does comparison operator work on strings? df square bracket name greater than Gene. What do you think? Will it work? Will it give error? What do you guys think about this? Everybody. Any answers, guys, for this? So when I saw this code for the first time, I thought it will give error, right? Because comparison is always done among numbers, right? But when you run it, it doesn't give error. In fact, what it does is that alphabetically, whatever names are there after Gene, those names are returned. Okay, alphabetically names after Gene are returned over here. Okay, now adding multiple conditions. df square bracket df square bracket val is less than 0.5, or let's say it's greater than 0.5, and df square bracket ctg double equal to a. So only the rows which are satisfying. Sir, can you show the code once again. We'll note it down. Yes, note this one down. Right? This is that code, Krishna. Jack also there, no, so. So, see, the thing is that the values are randomly generated, val and val2. Okay, these are randomly generated values. So the values that get generated in your laptop and the values that get generated in my laptop, they are not same. Okay. So what is the meaning of AND operator? AND operator basically means that both the conditions that have been given over here, both of these conditions should be simultaneously true. So only those rows will be returned where both of these conditions are simultaneously. Now, after this AND operator, there is OR operator as well, which is a single vertical line, which means that even if one of the condition is true, like here you can observe that it's not A, but still it is greater than 0.91 here also. So even if one of the condition is true, still you would be able to get the data. Okay. Now, after this is done, right? I hope guys you have understood the code. Correct? Let's move ahead with the next part. And I also hope that you have implemented it. So is in operator. What is there is in operator? Let's see. I am having names equal to John, Catlin, Mike. And df square bracket name dot is in names. So all the names that are present in this list names, they would be returned if present in df square bracket name. So whatever name out of these are present in df square bracket name, they would be returned. So this is how you can perform membership operations over here. Next is string accessor. So df square bracket name dot str dot starts with G. Jane, John, Jack. All the names starting with J are returned over here. Right? And you can double check on this. 30 more seconds, guys. Implement this in your laptop. This is the membership operator code and this is the string accessor. So if you want the particular strings starting with particular names, then this is something that you can take into account. Now, after this is done, can I move ahead, guys? Everybody? Have you written these codes in your laptop? The reason why I'm waiting over here is because I want you to implement this in your laptop. Right? Krishna is the first one saying yes. What about others, guys? Have you implemented this? Hemant is saying yes. Okay, okay. Nagasai is saying yes. Okay. Perfect. So let's get started with the next part. Let's have all the names ending with Y. After that, let's have N largest. TF dot N largest 3 comma val. So you will get the three large rows having three largest values in val column. See, three rows in descending order of largest values in val column. Right? Similarly, you can have three smallest in val 2, which look like this. After that is done, we have lock and iLock. Lock is basically used to select the rows and columns using labels. iLock is used to select the rows and columns using indices. So, third and selecting row with index 3 and 4. df.ilock 3 colon 5 comma colon. Feedback form, yes, the coordinators will send it to you, right? So basically what is happening is, yes, they have shared the feedback form. This is row and this is column. 3 colon 5 means that you have to get the row with indexes starting from 3 going up to 5, but not the row with index 5. So you can see the row with index 3 and 4 is returned, but not 5. And colon means all the columns, right? Now, let's try to have the same thing, and this is a question. Let's have 1 colon 3. What will happen over here? Can you tell me what will happen? Guys, indexing in Python starts from 0. So you will get not first two columns wrong, not the first two columns, no, wrong. Indexing starts from 0. So first column would be with index 0. Are we starting with 0? We are starting with 1. So you will get the second and third column, which is CTG and VL, right? And row with index 2 and 3. Correct, guys, everybody? So form is not opening. Can you help? Please ping the Blackbus host, guys, for this. Vinay, please ping the Blackbus host for this. They will share you the second link or another link. Right, so is this ILOC clear according to the indexes? Let me write down one important thing. Indexing in Python starts from 0. Okay, so ILOC basically, Krishna, means that you will slice the data according to indexes. 3 colon 5 means the row with index 3 and 4 would be returned. 2 colon 4 means row with index 2 and 3 and column with index 1 and 2 would be returned. Right, read this. Right. Now after this is done, we would be using lock function. For that we need to change the indexes. So what we are basically doing over here is that we are changing the index positions. Df dot index is equal to A, B, C, D, E, F. Print df. And now since we have separate labels over here to the data, let's try to use log function, which is used to access the data through labels. Df dot log b colon d comma colon. So you will get the rows from B to D, and D is also included over here. See. So lock and ilock function is definitely something which is going to like play a really important role, really important pivotal role over here. So now, can we get started with the next part? So let's have, here we will have CTG colon val2. Okay, so you can see that you will get the columns from CTG to val2. Now, after this is done, next thing over here is sorting the values. df dot sort underscore values pi is equal to name. You can see that the data is sorted in the ascending order of name. Right, so this is another function yet available over here to sort the data. In that, if you write ascending equal to true, sorry, false, it will get sorted in descending order. Right? Sir, if the data frame starts from index 1, we use ilock, you then use lock. ilock is starting from 0, index, and it is indexing in Python. It starts from 0 itself, it never starts from 1 in Python. Okay. So with that being said, you can now sort the data in ascending order as well as descending order, right, in the data frame with which you are working. Okay. And this wraps up our course till this pandas topic, right? So my point over here for all of you guys is that the next session that we are having, it's on Monday. And before coming to the session on Monday, it is very important for all of you guys to revise whatever we have completed, and we would be starting with exploring generative AI applications, this topic, right, on Monday. So try to read about Gen AI or generative AI applications in the before coming to next section, right? Perfect. With that being said, let's wrap up for today. There is another session that is going to start in a few minutes. I have shared the coding file, guys, with everybody who is present over here. I am always saying that please try to download it and make a copy of this in your own laptop, because tomorrow, if I'm deleting it from my laptop because I take multiple batches, you will not have reference to it then. Okay, so please download it. Please prepare a proper folder in your laptop, and then let's move ahead with the next part. Okay, perfect. Thank you, everybody. Good night, guys. Thank you. Thank you for attending. Bye.